Just throw this question in there? Like we don't need 20 minutes to answer this?
I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
I feel like this is a movie that's going to help a lot of people with a lot of different kind of issues that it touches on. For me personally, it's not wanting to ever ask for help. So what was a movie or a character that you had throughout your life that kind of helped you see a problem in a different way and have a different outlook on something?
Such a great question. I have had wonderful teachers in my life, school teachers in that sense, that I realized have really shaped me into who I am today and how I tackle my problems. Before I was interested in acting, I love microbiology. So I would say, Miss Ish, hi, freshman year honors biology. To this day, my favorite teacher. She was kind of one of those with tough love. So I suppose that's also what I looked at, the Carol Burnett's character as well. Just someone that shows her love a little differently, but definitely wants the best for you.
I guess for me, a lot of times my mom's always been there to help me out with a lot of things. Her and I have a very close relationship. And a lot of times if I'm kind of down on myself, it's hard acting and stuff and being in the industry, you get said no a lot too. And you sometimes feel like you don't know when the next thing's going to come and that's a scary thought, And I'm lucky that I have my mom and my close friends around me to sort of boost up my ego sometimes when it's been beaten down a bit.
I mean, there were probably when I was younger, like a teenager, I remember loving The Breakfast Club and watching it over and over again, because it was like, school, the different types of people in school, the way people relate to each other. It's something I really understood because I was of that age. And it gave me a perspective. Actually, I love that movie. And
I approve. I have to sure.
Oh my God.
Good choice.
I was just saying that. The first thing that came to mind was The Breakfast Club, but I was just saying before, it just made me think of when I watched it. It made me think of all those after-school specials that you run home to see when you're in high school. I don't know if you're our age and you see the after-school specials anymore.
Not.
I'm older than I look, but I remember.
I love after-school
But all
specials.
John Hughes movies, right? That put you in a place where you can relate to, and it just takes you on that journey that it's unexpected. You're like, oh my God, I didn't expect to feel that way, but you relate to it. It puts you in that place, But this movie's a different compelling thing because it's a much more complex journey.
I mean, movies in general help me get through life. I was definitely a kid that was a bit of a loner. I was kind of on my own a lot of the time. So movies were my best friend, were the thing that kind of reminded me of, they let me imagine and dream and kind of go away and escape. And they also reminded me that, things are going to be okay. I always found those big emotional films really moving. I think about a movie like The Shawshank Redemption. I mean, how much does that character go through? And then in the end, it's like you get through it. These are all films that I think really speak, just like this film, speak to the journey can be hard, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel. It's always darkest before the dawn. I think we're all experiencing that right now. Like, when is this going to end? When can we get back to things? But it's also brought to light some issues and some things that were always sitting there that we were ignoring. So I think in the end, this is going to make us better. And I'm hopeful. And I think that's what this movie's about. It's about hope.
And I love that Amber's dad leaves her his record collection. So if you were leaving 3 records for somebody to kind of get insight into who you are, what would they be?
You just throw this question in there? Like we don't need 20 minutes to answer this?
I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Maybe I think I can think of maybe a couple. And just sort of to get my thing, I showed Auli'i a lot of this album. There's a Passenger album I really love. It's called Whispers 2. And it's so like melancholically sweet, all the music he writes. I love the way he writes songs. And that's a big aspect of my life. I love like really sad things. I guess, I don't know why, but I'm really like drawn to that kind of art. The Hamilton soundtrack I'm a big fan of. So in terms of insight into who I am, I love acting, it's my passion. And so I love to get to do that with the soundtrack. And the third one, to express who I am, maybe 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying. That one too. That's my other side. You see, there's layers to this guy.
It's a good mix. Good mix.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. I can tell you the first 3 albums that I bought.
Okay. That works.
Okay, cool. First 3 albums I bought for my record player was Demon Days, the Gorillaz. Then it was The Best of Bread, the Bread. And then I think the third was like Childish Gambino.
You have such an amazing cast, both with, rising actors as well as veteran actors. What was it like assembling them? And do you have a favorite on-set memory?
I mean, my cast is an embarrassment of riches. I couldn't agree with you more. Auli'i, especially, just being in every scene of this film and carrying this movie. She's such a star and such a lovely human being. And I can't wait for people to see her in this part. But to be able to work with people like Justina Machado and Judy Reyes and Rhenzy Feliz, and then of course Carol Burnett and Fred Armisen, just incredible. And also to be able to work with a neurodiverse actor like Anthony Jacques and with Gerald, who happens to be in a wheelchair. These are things that were really important to me and really important to get right. And to see those young actors shine, maybe when they normally wouldn't get that opportunity, it really warmed my heart. And I can't wait for people to see the entire cast, and Taylor Richardson, who's fantastic as well. I can't forget about Taylor.
Working with Carol Burnett, highlight of my life, of my whole career. I've peaked early, to be honest. She's fantastic. She, from an acting perspective, so natural and just is so comfortable in herself that it was a joy to watch her. And then really, I think the scene that I'm thinking of is where I have to cry in front of Carol Burnett. And we must have done that scene so many times, because I would just look at her and be like, why am I crying in front of you? It doesn't make sense. And it would pull me out of character so fast every time that we had to redo it a lot.
You two have worked together multiple times. You're obviously very good friends. What is your favorite thing about having the other person as a scene partner?
My favorite thing is, first of all, I love working with Judy. I love watching her. I love how she listens. That's when we did that scene in the movie, there was a very dramatic scene, and I always, you want to look into your acting partner's face and you want to see that they're listening, that they're there with you, that they're feeling. It helps you. You don't just want to look at somebody just waiting to say their line. So to be able to work and have that back and forth with Judy and know that we're both, as we've said, serious about what we do. We work hard, then after work we play hard, So it's but when we're there, we're there. And I just know that she always has my back and I always have hers.
Same. I mean, it's a lot of fun to react to everything that Justina has to give, and she's given it every single time. And it's a lot of fun, she's always working, and she's a consummate professional about everything that she's got to do every time. And she's given something different every single time, which is a lot of fun. And that's my pet peeve, I don't ever like to do anything the same twice. And our director, Brett Haley, was like that. He loved to try different things, which, it made the days go by. They were long, but they just went by faster because he was just interested in, exploring and experimenting with the scenes multiple different ways. And that's an actor's dream. And
it really deals with kind of keeping hope alive when you feel like everything goes wrong. And I feel like in the industry that you are in, that's something that you have to go up and down roller coasters with all the time. What kind of advice do you have for aspiring actors to kind of keep that hope?
I think that it's such a journey. And I think that people have to realize that it is a journey. It is not sometimes it happens quickly, but even when it happens quickly, you're still going to have that journey. And I believe you have to have a lot of courage, and you just have to know that you're doing the right thing. You just have to be 150% invested and know that it is going to happen for you. There's no magic formula. I couldn't even tell you, because when I started that, I mean, I used to send 8x10s in like a big envelope. I mean, that doesn't even happen anymore, you know? So it's a whole different world, but that would be what I would say.
It is. It's a journey. It's not a destination. It's a practice more than anything. It does have to do with having some kind of a community that works on it, you know, because the way that you do along with you, because it's not about, oh, I'm gonna get here. It's kind of like I'm gonna be it's something that you are, and something that you do, not a place that you get to. Do you know what I mean? So it's something that you learn and that you study on a regular basis. You know, it's not some place that you get, oh, well, I'm done. Here I am. And, you know, now I go to it every day kind of thing. Because it's kind of like an art, if you will, you know. And I can't be dismissive about it, because it's when I understood that, I felt released from being terrified about it every day, you know, and something that I do, and I'm safe and comfortable with pursuing it on a regular basis and doing it on a regular basis.
Well, thank you guys so much. I love this movie. Also, this is Auli'i. He's my own little Bobby, and he was very satisfied with the ending. He even ran up to the screen when he saw Bobby. So he just wanted to say thank you to. He was very invested.
Oh, perfect. That's also another fan base.
Beautiful.
Yes.